other way of living my life now. Some of you know the struggle, some of you live in the bubble, some of you hustle.
I think probably the first record that hit me musically was Run DMC, Kings of Rock. At the time, they were doing metal-sounding music, but with rap on it. And previously, I listened to rock music, so that was something that that lured me in, and it was so different.
When I first heard "Rebel Without a Pause" by Run DMC, up to that point, there had been a lot of great hip hop, but when I heard that and just the freakish way their production was laid out, and the combination of voices, it just really like, wow, this is, to me at that point, is probably like the best song I've ever heard hip hop wise. My mom and dad had this really cool car called a Regal, a Buick Regal, had a really cool gangster look, and I was riding around with my friends smoking weed in it, causing trouble, or trying to stay out of trouble, one or the other, yeah. And we heard Rebel Without a Pause, and it just like, we almost all paused, like just like, what is this, It was a really cool moment.
We never planned any of it. It was just, with Muggs, the way he produced things, he very much went on what our vibe was at the time. If we were in dark mood, angry or sullen or something like this, that's what the music would be. If we were in a hyped up mood, like, amped up, that's what the music would be. And all those types of vibes, those different type of vibes gave us different ideas for different songs, different concepts and whatnot. And that's pretty much how we inspired one another,
That's the beautiful thing about Cypress, that it's always worked in several manners, and to develop the sound, it doesn't always have to be a meeting of the minds and let's grind it out. It's always been something that it's been easy to approach and express yourself.
I figure at the end, we all have to listen to what we have together and what we're able to live with as as a collective, because what you put out there is forever. It doesn't erase, it doesn't get taken away. It's almost like history, your history in the recorded time. Fortunately, with working together so many years, when we get in the studio, it somehow all works out, no matter how much time we spend apart doing other projects. I think my all-time favorite album production-wise would probably be Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, Public Enemy with the Bomb Squad. They were some of the most progressive hip-hop producers at the time. They were doing things that no other producers were doing with breaks and bridges within hip-hop music. It was distinct, it was unique. I don't ever remember hearing them putting out anything that people were like, I don't get it. It was always like, wow.
Well, in different genres, I have, different records that I like in rock and roll. I think like Led Zeppelin 4 is a super, really intense, at times emotional record, you know what I mean? And it's just one of those, every now and then it's just like watching a movie that you could watch over and over again. You get this album that you could just listen to repeatedly for the rest of your life, and it always sounds new to you. And those are a couple of records that I still keep in my car, and I have a little iTunes thing in my music so I could listen to it whenever I can. When I want to listen to something that I love, I have to like turn it up really, really loud. In my garage where I keep all my shit at, go in there and just blast music really loud. Thank God I have, really nice neighbors that don't mind. It gives me some sort of like inspiration, kind of like a spark, and it makes me want to think about my music, But I think the best way to listen to music you love is, loud as fuck.